Hi everyone. I was out this evening. I had a few errands to do on the way to the gym. I encountered a woman who has multiple sclerosis, so MS. And I had about a 5-minute dialogue with her of what she can do to prepare for her mobility to degrade. It got me thinking, there's going to be people who meet with an accident or very suddenly lose their mobility and don't know where to start. I want to spell out how I would do this if I were you. And it's to give you something to think about. This isn't the only way, but this is how I would do it. So the very first thing is establishing what you need for day-to-day life. So the use of the bathroom and shower, the kitchen for meals, and then sleeping. Those 3 items you need to have under control to function. So if your life was a plant, these 3 items are the roots that draw the nourishment in from the ground. If these 3 are under control and balanced, then you're going to be able to thrive in life as you build the rest of it up. So for the bathroom, there's a device called a toilevator. It's a piece of plastic about the shape of an oval. It raises the toilet up about 3.5 inches. In other words, it makes it easier to sit down on where the joints are deteriorated. This is a look at mine. And then you also can have grab bars. So that's the supports for sitting down and standing back up again. You'll learn that transfers become really important when you have a physical disability, specifically how you're going to do them safely so that you don't hurt yourself. So the support bars for the toilet, and then there's grab bars that go on the wall that will help you in and out of the shower. And there's these plastic chairs, shower chairs, that you can use in the shower. So you basically take a handheld shower and you wash yourself. And it's easy to do. The kitchen, you want to promote independence. So for me, how you promote independence relates to preparing meals yourself, or at least warming them up so you can eat when you're hungry and you're not waiting on someone to do for you. So either having a countertop, burners that your wheelchair can slide into, or else a microwave, a toaster oven, even a single burner that you can warm food up on and set up your little station that's where you're going to do your meal preparation, and then having your pots and pans within reach. For me, that means using drawers, the same as you keep your clothes in, for storing the pots and pans so that they just pull out from the lower kitchen cabinets. In the short term, you could have a little station set up that there's a plate, a mug, knife, fork, and spoon, a bowl, and a pot to warm up your meals. And then when you're ready to eat, you could do the rest of it yourself. That was the technique I used with my home care workers when I was starting to figure out how I was going to live my life after the loss of my mobility. If you're still motivated to do your own dishes, or by default you're required to, I've got a countertop dishwasher, and honestly, it's sent by God. It lets me do more for myself. It's not practical for me to sit there and wash dishes at the sink. So the countertop dishwasher holds roughly 6 place settings. It's great for one person. 2 people would work, but it would be tight every single day and have to be run every single day. With me, about every day and a half is when I need to run it. And there's a little bit of leeway. If I'm not feeling good in the evening, I could run it the next morning. Whereas if you were a couple, it would need to be consistently run at the same time, or there just wouldn't be space for what needs washing. Alternatively, buy a stool and have it sitting in the sink or near the sink in the kitchen, and you just pull it over and sit on it while you wash your dishes. There's a variety of faucets. That's the fancy word for a kitchen tap, that for someone that's disabled, your hands go in, whereas when people are standing up washing, it's typically a downward angled motion. You'll see this in the hardware store with the accessibility or the wheelchair icon on faucets that are designated for people with mobility challenges. What you're looking for is more height in where the faucet comes out, where the water's coming out. So if the tap's here, your hands could still get under it and you could wash your hands, and scrub it in that way. And then finally, for your bed, there's all kinds of choices, and it depends what's going on with you. If you're spending a lot of time in bed, it's worth it to have a bed that goes up and down and lets you reposition yourself. There's a number of eggshell foamed or eggshell formed plastic and cushiony material that will prevent bed sores. Having the bed prop up and be on a little bit of an angle means that you breathe deeper when you're in bed. Why that's important is to discourage forming pneumonia, in your lungs. And certainly when I had pneumonia the year my mom died, propping myself up in bed was one of the tips that a friend that's a physiotherapist gave to me so that my lungs would clear out and then I would be able to avoid a recurrence. Once you have those 3 under control, you can focus on the things that are exciting and what you're passionate about. So whether it's watching television, connecting with people, doing crafts, there's even options for planting where the flower pots are about 2.5 feet off the ground, or you just do it on your picnic table. There's lots of ways of getting and living life even with a physical challenge. What you might do is pay for an occupational therapist to come spend 3 to 4 sessions with you. What you would do in advance of asking for this is think through, what do I want to do with my life? And then what you do is talk back and forth with the occupational therapist, and you'll be left with some homework for you to do. And then they'll have their next appointment, and maybe you've had some problems, but you can work out the issues, figure it out, apply it, and by the 4th appointment, you're good. So it may be like $200 or so for 4 appointments, but what it will give you for your quality of life is worth the money. Going to the washroom, getting meals, and being in bed isn't living life to where you're able to engage in the enrichment activities. What makes life rewarding is being able to do the things that you're passionate about while you're going through the hardships and the challenges of pain and mobility challenges. you still can live your life. I absolutely assure you of this. It's a different life, but if you're able to enjoy it, that's all that matters. I want to leave you with just a little bit more to think about. It may seem overwhelming right now. If you're trying to figure out how to do things, I encourage you to go to a home health care store, take a look at what's available. I mean, when I did this for the first time, I was like a kid in a candy store. All these ideas of what I needed popped into my mind, and it started making sense to me that I could live beyond the loss of my mobility. Go there, look around, start asking questions, and over the course of about 4 months, you'll start feeling like you're in control and life is getting back to a new normal. The key is that when you're frustrated, you share it and you don't isolate and withdraw into a shell, but you talk about what's going on, you work out a process, and then you're welcome and free to be your own person. Different people are going to be struggling. Some struggles are very visual, but it doesn't mean that you're the only one. You can have peace of mind that if you own your issues, you're doing good. You're not in competition with your neighbors. You don't need to one-up people that are able-bodied. Be good at being yourself and be confident in who you are. Thanks so much for this time that you spent with me today. I wish you nothing but success in your life. Bye for now.